What's up everybody, it's Ken Rudini here for Super Power Review, and today I'm going to continue on the top 12 comic book buys of 2019. Seems like a lot of you guys loved yesterday's video, so we're going to continue on and we're going to start with comic book number 6. Alright, here we go. So for number 6 we have The Amazing Spider-Man number 361. This is CGC graded at a 9.8 with white pages. And this is the first full appearance of Carnage. Art and cover done by Mark Bagley and story by David Michelinie. This one I'm very happy to have at a 9.8, and if you guys follow the channel very closely, if you follow me on Instagram, I bought 2 9.8s this year. One happens to be signed by Mark Bagley as well. A good friend of mine, Steve B from Burke Family 54 Comics, needed some dough, and he said, "Hey Kevin, would you be interested in buying this signed one?" And I said, "Abso-freaking-lutely." So I ended up buying this one from an Instagrammer as well. He was a great guy and allowed me to do payment plans on this one. So here is number 6. So let's continue the countdown and let's go with number 5 now. Alright, number 5. So this was a big book that I wanted to get off of my 2019 wish list. This is Batman number 234, and the copy that you're seeing on screen right here happens to be signed by Neil Adams. This is the first Silver Age appearance of Two-Face, and the cover and art is done by Neil Adams, and the story is by Dennis O'Neil. So this was a big book that I wanted to get off the 2019 wish list, and this is another book that I bought 2 copies of. So I bought one just to keep clean, and I bought another copy at Terrificon and had Neil Adams sign it right then and there. This story is really fun. Normally sometimes, you know, the Silver Age comic books can be a little campy, and I'm not about the camp. I like sometimes seriousness, but this book was really, really good. Two-Face isn't per se my favorite Batman villain, but I absolutely really liked the story. I thought it was clever, and it was very entertaining as well. Alright, we're moving quick. Let's go with number 4 now. So sadly guys, I was too busy, and this book came in last week, and I was so busy that I did not do a unboxing video for you, but here is another huge book that I purchased this year. This is the last comic book buy of 2019, and this is Swamp Thing number 1. This is CGC graded at a 9.4 with off-white or white pages. Cover by Bernie Wrightson, story by Len Wein, and this is the origin of Swamp Thing, and also the first appearance of Matt Cable, Alec Holland, and Linda Holland. This is a huge DC key book to get in a grade, and I absolutely am so happy to have this book in the collection, especially with the Swamp Thing number 9 that I showed you guys yesterday. They look so good together. And I redeemed myself from Rhode Island Comic Con. So at Rhode Island Comic Con, I was this close to buying a Swamp Thing number 1, CGC graded at 9.2. And that person wanted a whopping $500 for that book. And I'm so happy that I kept to my senses and, you know, just waited it out, because everyone is on a Swamp Thing high since the show came out, and it's dying down a little bit. I got that book for a steal of a deal. I won't tell you how much I paid for it, but I tell you, I did not pay $500 for it, and I did not pay $400 for it, that's for sure. So I'm super happy to have this book in the collection. As you guys know, and I've said in the previous video, that I'm huge into Swamp Thing right now, and I'm so happy to have this book. Alright guys, we're dwindling down to number 1, but first we gotta get to number 3. Let's check it out. Number 3, this was also another big book that I wanted for the 2019 wish list. This book was number 1 for last year's top comic book buys, but this one is a Wolverine number 1, CGC 9.8 with white pages, signed by Frank Miller. Art and cover by Frank Miller, and story by Chris Claremont. This is the first solo series for Wolverine. This is one of my favorite comic books ever made. This is when Wolverine decides to go to Japan, and you know, when you're mixing comic book characters and the culture of Japan with martial arts and ninjas and samurais, I am all about that. Especially, you guys all know I do martial arts if you follow me on Instagram. So this book really hits home with me when it comes to the Japanese culture martial arts. You got Wolverine, who is an animal who has no discipline, and if you know Japanese martial arts, it's all about discipline, which Wolverine lacks in. And so we see Wolverine kind of develop and kind of calm himself, but still has that anger, ferociousness that we all know this character to have. So very happy to have this book in the collection. I thought about buying one with Chris Claremont's signature on it as well. Can I get Chris Claremont to sign it down the road? Yeah, I could. I've had 2 opportunities already to do it, but I didn't. I'm just going to stay where it is for now, be happy with what I have, and maybe if the opportunity comes by again sometime, I'll think about it then. All right, guys, we're showing some really big books here, okay? So number 2 is also a really big book. Let's show that one now. This book, okay, this book was featured on my top 5 favorite comic books in my collection, and this book ranked in at number 3. This one I got this year as well. So this is a Batman 227. This book is signed and sketched by Neal Adams, and if you want to see Neal Adams' sketch on this book, you can check out my Terrificon video. I'll put a link to the video in the description below. This book is written by Dennis O'Neil, and only the cover art is done by Neal Adams. This was a big book to have for 2019. This was also off of the wish list, and again, if you follow the YouTube channel closely, I was an idiot and bought 2 of these books, which was a happy mistake, a good mistake, because I ended up getting that book signed and sketched. So what ended up happening was I bought one where I thought was a good price. It was a good price. And then I forgot that I had bid on one already and ended up winning that bid. So I was stuck with 2 Batman 227s. But if you guys know me really well, I like to have one signed and another one just kind of as is. I used the lower grade copy to get signed and sketched by Neal Adams because I thought that it would make this book like an ugly duckling turned into a beautiful swan kind of saying. So I had Neal Adams slap a Batman sketch on it. Love this book. Very happy to have it in the collection. I love that silver signature up on the top left corner as well. So that was book number 2. I'm going to show you book number 1, but before we do that, here are some honorable mentions of the 2019 comic book buys. All right, so as you can see, a lot of great books were bought this year for 2019. Unfortunately, not all of the books can make it on the top 12 comic book buys of 2019 video. But guys, here is number 1. We have for number 1 an Incredible Hulk number 181, graded at a 6.0 with a qualified grade. Because the book is missing the Marvel value stamp. And for all you people out there, okay, I'm going to go ahead and say it, okay? A lot of you might disagree with this, but this is the first cover appearance of the Wolverine and the second appearance of Wolverine in comic books. This story is written by Len Wein, and the cover and art is done by Herb Trimpe. This book, absolutely love this book. This book wasn't a planned buy. This book was not on the 2019 wish list. It wasn't on previous years because I just thought, and in my opinion, that this book was just unattainable, okay? I never felt comfortable dishing out so much money for one book, but I really, really wanted this book. I've been wanting this book for ever since I've known comic books. Finally, my wife allowed me to buy this book, which I'm very thankful. Thank you. and I ended up purchasing this book for my birthday this year. I absolutely love this book. I literally look at this book every single day, no word of a lie. And every time I look at this book, I just jaw drops and I say to myself, I can't believe I own this book. So I've said this story before on the channel, but I'll say it again. So I was initially looking for a different book. I was on eBay looking at a book that I was looking to buy. And when I saw the seller lived in the same town as I did, I decided to look at the other things that this gentleman had for sale. And I came up on this beautiful book, and I was like, man, I can't believe that this book is in the same exact town that I live in. Like, I gotta have this book. So it's a fun story. I messaged this person saying like, hey, my name's Kevin Vidinia. I live in the same town as you. What a coinky-dink. Left it at that. Great book, beautiful book. So of course then I get a message on Facebook from this person, which is exactly what I wanted. And then we did kind of a backdoor deal on this book, and he gave me a great deal, especially knowing that I was going to buy this book for my birthday. And I'm good friends with this person now, so it's good to make friends while buying comic books. So guys, that is my top 12 comic book buys of 2019. It's been a fantastic year for comic book collecting. I am hoping for next year that I am just a wee bit smarter and don't do as much comic book shopping. I am going to come up with a 2020 wish list, and I'm sure I'll do a video of that real soon. I'm just going to come up with a couple of more books that I'm going to think of, but I already have an idea of books that I want to buy. So let me know in the comment section what your favorite comic book was in this video, okay? If you're new to the channel, subscribe for future videos, okay? And make sure you like this video if you liked anything that you saw in this video today. So guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.